Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smark Show, episode number 15. We made it to 15 episodes somehow.
Woohoo!
Somehow. We've been doing this for 15 weeks now. It doesn't feel
Over
like
3
that
months
long.
now. 3 months now, yeah.
Yeah. SummerSlam before it, right? Right
Yeah.
before the Brooklyn show.
Yep.
Time flies, dude. Anyway, I'm Nick Trichome.
Steve Herman, what's going on?
Mike Cap.
Alright, and we got Raw, we got NXT, we got some news outside of all that stuff. Well, kind of related to that stuff, but,
Yeah.
you know, outside the ring stuff.
Yeah.
Better way to put it.
And Survivor Series.
Survivor Series is coming up. Time to make some picks.
That's Nick's picks, ladies
Not
and
right,
gentlemen.
not right now.
Not right now, but
Not right now, though.
later on the show.
Later in the show. I want to start by jumping right into Raw.
Absolutely.
Because, interesting episode. For the most part, thought it was pretty good. Some really weird stuff, though.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like I do say that, like, every episode. Alright, this was cool, this was good. Some weird stuff, or some really interesting stuff. I gotta think of different things to say, but go ahead, Steve.
I thought the show was interesting. I mean, for a go-home show, it was alright. I thought it was something different. They were trying to do some different aspects of the... putting some people in different spots of the show for the main event, which we'll talk about later. In the beginning of the show. I mean, you would see that vice versa, like, many years later.
Yeah. I think we should just jump right into that.
Which, the big segment.
The juicy topic of discussion on Twitter after the
Yeah,
show.
big discussion.
Real smart to make that the main event, too, because people would have lost their shit if that, like, happened,
So-
like, mid-show.
So, the Paige and Charlotte contract signing as the final segment of the show.
Really, really
They
surprised.
really threw us a curveball. Like, a contract signing wound up in violence? Like, that doesn't ever happen on WWE.
that
Well, not for women, at least. At least I don't even really remember a contract signing for women.
well, if not in NXT,
Not in a long time.
NXT they always have them, but not in the main roster. No, but yeah, I was really surprised about this. Like overall, just like because like I didn't think they were they were doing the video packages. I'm like, that's good. They're starting to build it up. I mean, we're a week in now, but like I was not expecting main event. I thought I was expecting like the 10 o'clock spot or something. I liked it though. I did like it.
It was good for them.
Good for them, yeah.
It was really good for them. The thing was, to me at least, it didn't make sense in context to the rest of the show. Because to me,
Yeah,
there was a clear main event earlier in the show.
yeah, I agree with that.
And, well, I mean, I'm not even going to try and hide for later, but to me, the main event of that show probably should have been Cesaro versus Roman Reigns.
Quality-wise, definitely, that match was awesome. And, I mean, everybody wanted to see that match.
All three, I mean, of the 4 matches were pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
And I think this is really, like, where the tournament's starting to show its strengths here, because, I mean,
Well, then you got some of the, like some of the best workers in our business right now that
But-
are available.
not to get too off track, we'll get into this more later, but it's not getting caught up in storyline. You're just getting these matches and they're advancing. It goes to what you said, not last week, but the week before, if I remember correctly, where it's more of a competition now than just trying to push this angle on you or making it like, oh, this is personal, or you know, it's just
I want to
it's
fight you for this
competition.
reason or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a clear
It's
end.
just we're all fighting for
There's
the
a
belt
clear
now.
end game. Like, you know, there's a prize here that we're all trying to vie for, do whatever we can to get forward.
Yeah.
Definitely makes the matches feel important, at least.
But to get back to the contract signing for Paige and Charlotte, took a weird turn.
It really did.
Took a weird turn.
Yeah, went off the deep end.
Took a very weird's not. It took a very dark
I don't know if
turn.
you-
Is
I don't-
more like it.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I feel like the crowd wasn't really into it.
The crowd, that was a horrible crowd.
yeah, it was a
the whole
horrible
show.
crowd.
Yeah, I didn't.
But-
you know, when
Well,
Undertaker,
they were hot for the matches.
when
though,
Undertaker
the
and
tournament,
Kane were out, especially for the Cesaro reigns. But I mean, when Undertaker and Kane were out there, at like in the beginning, not to say that was the most like the greatest segment of all time, but you have Undertaker and Kane and their last throws, like choke slamming the Druids, and the crowd's like not making any noise. It's like, all right, guys, like come on, like you came to the show, cheer, like do
Right.
something,
Exactly.
boo, cheer, chant, do something.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it was. It maybe it played a part in that, but I think it was more they didn't know how to react to that.
Yeah, just the
because,
general shock.
I mean, we haven't said it directly yet, but Charlotte brings up that her brother passed away 2 years ago, and then Paige started taking shots at.
Wait, did Paige bring it up or did Charlotte?
Charlotte brought it
Oh,
up.
I
Charlotte
remember.
brought it
She
up
brought up
initially.
how what was it? Paige was like a thing of like strength for like she consoled her,
Right.
Like he passed or whatever, right?
Yeah, and then Paige took the shot at that.
Yeah.
At him drug
Me and Steve were
overdosing, and
talking
that was that felt really out of place and unnecessary. I mean, it's not.
And yeah,
It was probably to make things feel really personal, and I guess they kind of got that, but you didn't have to go there.
Okay, so
Like-
you're on the position that you don't think that was the smart move for them
Well,
right there.
here's the thing I wanted
Like
to.
me and Steve were talking about this beforehand, and me and him have very different views here. So I was wondering what yours was.
Here's the thing too. Ric Flair, and you said this on his podcast, he never knew about it. He did not know that was coming.
Okay.
And his
apparent-
mom too, and the mom was Charlotte too.
So none of the Flairs knew except
Nope.
for Charlotte.
Nope.
So yeah, that's unexpected. That hit really close to home for the. I mean, really close to home. I mean, it was their home. Like that really hit them hard.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the right thing to do.
Plus, Triple H is tight buddies with Flair. You think he would have called him or something? I mean, like we both
Yeah, there
all
was-
different
Okay.
viewpoints. But
Now, now I
I
hear
know-
you guys. I hear you guys out. Like
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying here. I hear you guys out on that. Like
Right.
I 100% agree. If you're gonna do something like that, and well, in my opinion, they have the permission of Charlotte. She's the one directly involved with it. It's her brother. That's all the permission they need. So I don't think they're in the wrong for that. However, on a moral level and on a level of Ric Flair being friends with the top guys in the WWE, they definitely could have went about that a much better
exactly.
way and told him prior to it.
that's the only thing I was really upset about.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I definitely agree with that. However, noting what happened afterwards, like because they brought this up, I think it was worth it. Now,
I mean,
yeah,
if you're looking at it this way,
what
if
guys
you wanted
think.
Paige to build heat for herself, I mean, she
That-
got heat.
That's my sole reason. Before this Raw right here, what is Paige versus Charlotte an afterthought?
it was.
I mean, there was a little build to it, but
I mean,
nobody,
I looked-
nobody
yeah.
really cared.
Yeah.
Can I
this
be
show-
honest though? I'm still not looking all that forward to it.
I'm definitely looking forward to it more than I was. I can't say
I agree with that.
I can't say I'm looking forward to it like Taker Lesnar, but on the same note,
This is probably the
I really didn't even care that it was a match before this, and now
This is probably the most hyped
Yeah.
women's main roster match in some time. But I had two different viewpoints when I watched it. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It was okay, but then once it took a couple days to
yeah,
everything. I'm like, okay, I really don't like this. I feel like they went really cheap by bringing up his brother. I think they could
Brother.
her brother, and I think it was just maybe lazy. They just think, oh, let's just get cheap ratings and
gotta remember they had to rewrite their
and,
whole script here, so
But the
they're gonna have to throw some Hail Marys here and hope something.
I agree
works.
with that. The other thing I was gonna say is, damn, I just forget what I was gonna say. Like script. Damn, I don't know. You go. I lost my train of thought.
Just my whole thing here. I mean, like I said, from a personal standpoint, it wasn't the best thing to do, and I think they, looking back on it, they'd say the same thing. We probably should have told Ric Flair,
Yeah.
but it happened.
Yeah.
They didn't tell him. He found out, that it was going to happen on the show or whatever. I hate to sound insensitive here, but I mean, you got to move on. Like, I'm not saying move on from the loss of your son or whatever, but Ric Flair being Ric Flair, he knows it's a scripted television show. His daughter's a grown woman. This happened 2 years ago. Not saying that the wound's still not there, but it happened 2 years ago. You're a grown man. It's a fake show. They're just doing this just to move this angle forward. I mean, again, they
Yeah.
could have went about this way better ways, but
They
it is
definitely
what
could.
it is. It happened.
And the thing.
So I think they should take
yeah.
what this is and move forward with it. Paige is one of the few true heels in the company right now. Kevin Owens comes out there and the fans try and cheer for him, and he just gets them to boo him. That's great.
New
He's
Day
a
as
heel.
well.
New Day. They're even still like they're
Yeah.
becoming cool heels, but they're still heels at this point.
Right.
They weren't cool heels already.
Who else do they have? No Diva's a real heel. Sasha Banks is supposed to be a heel, but she's the most over thing on the roster.
Pretty
Not
much.
really on TV as is.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
like
complete bullshit.
I mean, I think this was a great move. And today where, there's no like illusion that wrestling is, fake anymore. It's so much harder to garner like heel heat because even something back in the day like Big Boss Man taking Big Show's dad's coffin and
Right.
driving it around. Wrestling was still like kayfabe wasn't completely broken at that point to where people were like, "Oh my god,
no
this is great."
technology then.
Yeah, like, oh my god, this is crazy. They can't really build heat like that in storylines anymore. Even with the Bray Wyatt, like, stealing The Undertaker's soul, apparently, on TV.
Yeah, and
people
Kane as
still
well.
cheer for that. So you're going to have to do things that are going to piss people off on a moral level outside of wrestling if you want to build heat in today's wrestling. I think that's going to be the new way the business goes.
I think the big question going forward with that is where do you draw that line?
I really think that's up to the performers there.
And, you know, that's kind of surprised me because WWE is like so politically with everything now with their sponsors. I'm surprised they went there. And you know, we always complain like every week about how the writers need to do better, and like they make it a little more edgier. But
I'm fine. That's why I'm fine with it.
I feel like it went a little far. That's just me.
But I know you're saying like,
and I know
it's making you like uncomfortable and stuff, but to a lot of people now, this makes them want to see Paige get her comeuppance. You know, back in the day when Roddy Piper did something scumbaggy or Ted DiBiase was buying out the roster, everyone was like, oh, you know, I want to see these big villains go down. You know, in today's a Divas feud, it's, oh, hey, you know, you're a catty bitch. You're a catty bitch. Let's slap each other and then someone wins the title. Like, that's really what it is for...
main roster, at least. Yeah.
So, doing something like this changes that completely. Mm-hmm. And again, with kayfabe dead, it's so much harder for these guys to garner like real heat, especially when WWE is going to say, you know, hey, Seth Rollins, you're the heel champion, but you want to go do this Make-A-Wish and stuff like that? It's so hard today.
That's our society, though, today, you know?
But that's what I'm saying. When you can do something like this in wrestling where, you know, it's not really hurting anybody. I mean, it hurt Ric Flair's feeling, but nobody directly physically gets hurt from this, you know. His son's dead. You know, it is what it is. He's gone.
But, like... well, they never brought up like Owen when he died, like Owen Hart. Sorry to like go, you know what I mean? Like Owen Hart. Like, what if they did something with Bret Hart? Like
that was a different time in wrestling though. Back then, they didn't need to reach to that.
But I don't think Owen Hart's the best example because
I'm just trying to think
a better example of that would be Eddie Guerrero.
Why is that?
Well, he passed away.
They directly used Eddie Guerrero in the storyline.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He passed away. And then they just kept using him in the storyline.
Oh, yeah, with him and Chavo. I remember
months.
that,
Yeah, and that's why Rey Mysterio won the belt. Remember, it was all for Eddie.
Right,
The thing with Randy Orton.
But that was cool, though, because like, he was paying tribute.
But that's what I'm saying. You're for that because it was a face. You know, they're doing a face move with it. I mean, this is just a heel thing. It's made up either way. They're bringing aspects of real life into I mean, what's the, you know...
Look, I didn't...
Art that imitates real life is often better, whatever the hell that saying is. You know,
I didn't hate the mention of. Felt really bad that Ric Flair didn't know and the wife didn't know. That's what I feel is missed. That's like the one
times I agree with that.
Yeah, I know.
But it happened. So like, what do you do from here? You know, it happened.
They gotta go forward with it.
We're sorry, but do you think it's a good thing? You know, I'm not saying what they did outside of it, but I'm saying for pure wrestling. Like, I think this is really good for Paige. I think it moves the Divas forward immensely. At least
she better not turn face anytime soon. I mean,
there's no way she will.
Yeah, I mean, she's a
nuclear
mega heel now,
especially on Twitter. What was it? I saw some wrestling site linked like a picture of her Twitter. She said, "Keep talking about me, guys. It's getting me like trend. It's I'm trending on Twitter."
Oh, okay.
So like, I mean, she's fully eating it up. I'm cool with that. You see guys like Jericho and all these people like. Old school heels who, when they're heels, they're real heels. Like they don't do they don't do fan signings. They don't go kiss babies. Like they're heels. Paige is the same cloth. It seems like.
It's interesting because on last week's show too, you brought up Paige might be pushing a line a little bit or pushing her limits about what she can do and what she can't. So I'm just curious, like, is that what she did on this week's show? Was that testing the limits at all?
No, not at all, because WWE was clearly behind her on this. I mean, there's no way she just came out and made a joke about, not a joke, but she attacked another performer's dead sibling without Vince McMahon and Triple H and all that.
They obviously thought about this.
If she came out here and, did some of the racy stuff that she does that I'm sure corporate hates, like, some like crotch thrust or licks Natalia or whatever, there'd probably be more mad at that than this because she had to have had permission.
Yeah, there's no way
she would have been fired immediately after the show if she didn't have permission.
Maybe fired, suspended, something.
I think she would have been fired.
You think so? Yeah.
If it was a random person, suspended. If it's Ric Flair's daughter and Ric Flair and his son, fired.
Yeah.
So
you're probably right. Yeah.
I don't think she's pushing the envelope here. Storyline, she is. I think that's great for a character, but with corporate, she's fine. There's no way they can be made.
Yeah.
Well, we spend a lot of time on this, and I'm kind of getting sad from it, honestly.
It's a big moment on the show.
It was a huge moment for the Divas.
Actually, before we get moving on into upbeat stuff, the WWE did start the show paying respect to the victims of the Paris attacks,
which was very nice.
That happened the week before. Kind of echo similar sentiments. thoughts with everyone that got affected by the attack.
That
There's,
was horrible.
there's no place in the world for that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
WWE also paid tribute to Nick Bockwinkel,
Yep, who just passed the
also
weekend,
passed
too.
away last week. WWE Hall of Famer.
Yep.
I mean, huge impact on the wrestling industry. Again,
Hearts going out to the families still. Yeah.
that's
And shout out Viva La Raza.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
10-year anniversary
Yep.
of his death as well.
That's a goddamn shame.
That is a
Eddie
shame.
Guerrero was awesome,
I mean,
man.
he'd still be he'd be like an NXT right now with like a trainer.
One of like my favorite like moments thinking about like back to wrestling was like Eddie Guerrero, like, you know, back in like old golden age Attitude Era when like half of the show was backstage segments and people just getting their ass kicked. Just seeing Eddie Guerrero like sneak around doing like scumbaggy things and you're just cheering for him, like, you know, he's lying, cheating, and stealing, and you're like, oh, I hope he gets away with it. Like
The best is when he won the title at No Way Out. That was an epic moment.
One of the biggest moments in WWE history, I think.
So
that
epic.
was,
one of his best matches for sure.
But moving on from the sadness now.
Yeah, that was pretty depressing.
If we go into the opening show, this is also a little depressing at how weak the Wyatt family has been looking recently leading up into this feud.
Well,
I tried to send good vibes to this podcast.
I will not let it happen.
This segment was weird.
Why you do this, Cap?
Yeah,
what was the point of it?
That's the whole thing. It was, you know, like when they're writing it up, I can see why they like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, you know. And it was cool if you just take it as not like an opener, just like a little one-off. If there's like a promo, then it would be a lot cooler.
But it's the week going to Survivor.
Yeah, because it's the go-home show. Definitely questionable.
It's really weird.
I mean, again, a lot of cool stuff like Bray Wyatt. What would he say? Like, you no longer command like when lightning claps and like all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And Undertaker and Kane having the Druids turned on them. Again, in theory, it's cool, but like then it's the go home show, and you have them just squash the Druids a week after they just squash the Wyatts
With the sheep mask.
Yeah, it's like you're like, come on, guys.
I mean, it was really cool. Though.
Yeah, it was cool. Like,
I mean,
cool, but
it's
also,
just because of the placement.
Undertaker and Kane, they end last week's show. They start this one, and quite honestly, I thought the promo Bray Wyatt gave was his best yet.
The dude just gets better every single
Yeah,
time.
I said that too.
I thought that was his best one
Like
yet.
with every time, like he's almost like Paul Heyman. Like you just see him like just owning the craft when he's out there, just a little bit more each time.
I mean, he's so young too.
Picking up something different. Yeah, that guy.
He's so young.
That guy has to be like a champion.
I mean, just body language, delivery. Like I felt that one.
All right. Well, here we go. Just because we just said, I just said that he's going to be a champion at some point. This is something I wanted to ask you guys. I almost forgot. Survivor Series. This match happens. Is this the start of an uphill like roll for Bray Wyatt, or is he going back down after this?
Back down.
Like it's a sucky position because he really can't lose anymore.
What can they
He
do with
has
him?
No room for error. But then you have the
he needs to dominate for like a year before.
Then you
he can
have the
lose.
Brothers of Destruction, on the other end.
Recently resurrected Brothers of Destruction,
And we've been seeing them really consistently for the first time in years, like in this fashion.
Well, especially Taker.
Yeah.
And it only feeds more into the idea that this is it. This is the farewell tour. That's a lot. I mean, I was live tweeting the show on Monday night, and that's kind of what I said. But like, what do? You have Taker going out losing what? 2 straight matches, and the one before was a cheap finish.
Yeah, well, he did win at WrestleMania. He did win at Mania.
Against Bray Wyatt,
Yeah.
kind of
damn
bad opponent. Yeah.
Instinct tells me, Bray Wyatt wins because he has to, and this is really it for Taker.
This is
Here's the thing though: if Taker loses here, I'm not sure you see him at WrestleMania.
No,
it wouldn't make any sense.
If Undertaker's in the company,
he's at WrestleMania.
He's at WrestleMania.
He's in.
I just like
he could lose every single match for a year leading up to Mania, and he'd still be in it. You can't not have Mania without Taker. But I get what you mean.
But like,
what's the point?
What do you do after?
I get that 100%. I was kind of laughing when you were talking, just like the words that you're using. It echoes every conversation. I mean, we haven't been around as a show, the Smark Show, for a lot of Bray Wyatt's feuds.
Yes.
But we've been watching wrestling together as a group for a while now.
Yeah, a couple years.
So I feel like almost every time Bray Wyatt's in a feud, we have the same words that we use, like, he needs to win this feud. They book themselves into a shitty situation where both guys need the win.
Like Ambrose.
No, in
as
all
well.
honesty,
Look
though,
at this. It's the Brothers of Destruction, probably on their last run. It's the kickoff show, the anniversary of Undertaker. Are you really going to start the Brothers of Destruction back off, unless they were just a one-off thing, with a loss? Or, on the other side, are you going to make the Wyatt family, which is finally gaining momentum again after the WWE screwed them before, you're going to give them a loss? Like, what do you do here?
I
The
know.
Wyatts should win.
I think I know what they're going to do.
On the
but
other
yeah.
end, it just sucks. They'll probably do some stupid fluke finish where the other Wyatt family members run in and
I've
ruin what
got
could be
an
a good
idea.
match. What's that?
I'll save it for the picks.
Okay.
Save
But
it for the picks.
the other thing I wanted to mention, Kane is just more legit now since being back with Taker.
Yeah.
Honest, it's like he's
Oh.
just I like him.
Washed
I like
off.
him again.
Washed off all the stink of the authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like him so much again now.
I will echo similar statements from previous episodes where bring back the old mask, but still cool nonetheless.
It's good to see him.
Yeah.
Just more legit.
Demon Kane, I'm cool with.
Yes.
Like, as long as he's real
He
Demon
did a
Kane.
nice job with the promo as well.
Yeah.
Saying the Wyatts
Didn't do a
have
nice
a
job
place
with that.
for hell.
Oh, he only really said one line.
It was a good line though.
Yeah, didn't do a
It
nice
fit well,
job on
though.
that choke slam though. The Undertaker made him look like a bitch.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Taker's so
Yeah,
better at
Taker
chokeslam at
lifted
this
that
point.
dude like 11 feet in the air. Kane like
I
gently
remember that.
lifted him like he was a toddler and placed him on the mat. Taker was like,
Damn, you're going down.
With emphasis.
yeah, it looked like he just got a
Emphasis.
touchdown. He was like spiking the ball. Should have started doing like a Cam Newton dance afterwards. See that Titans player get in his face and he danced at him? That was great.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Go off wrestling topic there, but shout out Cam Newton.
Came in from Carolina.
Also, we're recording this late on the. Well, we're actually in the Friday morning now at this point. But
Yes.
Technically, yes.
those uniforms that Jaguars and Titans wore,
Were awful.
what was that? The color rush. I'm just calling it now. The color rush was a bad idea. NFL. Probably good on paper. I think you lost on that one. Though. Last week the Bills looked like a bunch of Kool-Aid men running around, and the Jets looked like crayons. And this week, I still gotta think. The Jags looked like C-3PO running around, and the Titans. Just that light blue, man. I don't know.
A
All light blue.
good color choice though. Back to wrestling here.
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
Shout out to the Usos. That was a very classy move of them. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Oh,
face
yeah.
paint. They did
The
for-
French
yeah,
French
for
flag.
the,
That was
French
awesome.
people.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was very nice little subtle touches like
Absolutely.
that.
The little things you see.
Not to take too much great pleasure out of a tragedy, but good baby face move. Like,
Absolutely.
hate to be the guy to say it,
I
but
know.
good job.
I mean, that might have been something they would have done no matter what.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very respectful.
Yeah. That match though, not feeling it. Not feeling the Ryback Uso thing. This is
Feed
my
me, Usos.
my similar complaint that I always have. It's just like they're just both faces. What do they have to do with each other other than their faces?
I think that was more they had to find someone.
Well,
Yeah.
creative
I-
license.
and that's their that's their problem for not building up stables. Like,
Well, to me, it felt like, okay, I guess there must be something where Xavier has to get in the ring every
Yeah.
once in a while.
why though? I mean, he's gold on the mic. There's no reason for him to wrestle anymore. Like, let him be like some scumbag who comes in and hits people with rackets. Like, what's his name? The hell's his name?
Oh, Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette. Yeah, I said Jim Cornell.
Yeah, you did.
Shout out Andy.
Andy. Nar dog.
Yeah, but like have him be like that, like just the manager for these two. Eventually, when the group breaks up and Big E goes off on his own,
Let him be his manager.
Like Kofi said his own words. I
Peace
think
out.
Kofi said he's gonna ride off into the sunset once the New Day's done. So
But you just have to expect on Raw. You're getting at least one 6-man tag match. You just
yeah,
gotta
of course.
expect it. You
Or
just gotta
six
expect
woman.
it. Well,
Because
either one.
they
They haven't done them in a
they-
while. They haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, they love.
Thank God.
They love those for about a 3-month span of
Yeah,
just nothing.
You know,
but
just
6
building up the
diva
Divas
tag.
Revolution. But
Horrible.
yeah, but this match it ended in a DQ. Too.
Funny
Yeah.
this
New,
this
new,
right
new,
here.
new catchphrase. It ain't a Raw without a 6-person tag match.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Back to the whole Page thing. I know we just talked about it for a long time, but like you just saying that, I kind of even think this is maybe arguably the first real revolutionary move for the Divas.
Oh, it is.
After weeks of saying this might be the
Months.
first one.
No, it is. They got the main event spot.
I'm saying Paige's whole little spiel with Ric Flair's son here. That's something that you've never really seen in Diva. Like, you've seen guys go over the line before in WWE history and work with a lot of risque. Not to say women haven't done some risque things, but like Lita and Edge had like sex in the ring or whatever.
Live sex celebration.
But, you don't see like a Divas feud get like.
What was that?
I don't know.
You rarely see a man's feud get this personal, let alone a woman's feud in WWE.
That's a very good point.
I mean, this, if anything's revolutionary, I mean, as you guys said, you don't really like it that much. I do like it, but either way.
This should show that they are going to be pushing it. And let's hope, cross our fingers, maybe they build a storyline for WrestleMania this year.
Where do you think this places on the card?
9 o'clock hour.
You got to think the championship match is the last match, obviously.
Taker and Kane will be like midway.
You think so? I thought they might be the co-main event. Nah. Not co-main event, but second.
We have like not counting the pre-show. We have 8 to 11, right?
Yeah, 8 to 11. Yeah,
8 to 11. Show, yeah. I'll put it at like 9. 9 o'clock.
I don't know. Just that. Well, it's just because like them closing Raw, which again could have just been a tactical move because they know like the shitstorm that was going to happen with that comment. But at the same time, if you put something in the main event of like the go home Raw, I'd have to think it's pretty high up on the card.
Yeah.
Not to say that.
It might be the 9 o'clock hour for all I know. So.
And again, everything.
Well, where's Charlotte and Paige? I think they're gonna get a high spot in this.
That's what I'm talking about. They're
gonna get time. I definitely think that.
Everything kind of gets thrown out the window just because of the whole Seth Rollins injury. They have to audible everything.
Right.
So typical like wrestling booking and stuff doesn't really apply right now just because they're probably throwing things together all over the place. But I'd imagine it has to be high.
Probably right.
And people care about it obviously now, at least more than they did.
Very controversial situation, so.
I mean, I know we've harped on it, but
we've harped on it.
I mean, we'll see. Ironically, the last pay-per-view, we actually got the match order right when we were making our picks.
Yes, we did.
We went down in just a random order. And
didn't plan it at all.
Hit them all, which was amazing.
That was very funny.
But
do you want to get into the tournament matches?
Yeah. I really wanted to bring up Tyler Breeze's
match with R-Truth.
First win here.
Well, surprise, it's R-Truth.
like
short and quick.
Yeah. What? I don't know. I don't really like that first match, especially with
I mean,
one of them said he's going for another win here. One like JBL or someone said like, oh, Tyler Breeze, just another win for him.
Now let me ask you a question: would you have been fine if he had his first match and then went to the tournament? Because that's what I wanted him to do originally.
I don't really care for this match at all. I don't think him beating R-Truth makes him look any stronger or weaker. So
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think it would have been nice to have a win before.
When they probably made the tournament format, they probably had to fill a spot.
Well, absolutely.
And they saw him and they're like, all right, he has enough of a backing to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But
not to say that he wouldn't have been taken seriously. Right. That's not what I mean. What I mean is people know who he is, so we're confident enough to put him in.
Right. But you just said this match doesn't really mean anything, him beating R-Truth, right? So then why would you really even want it before the tournament? Like I know like you said like you wanted him to have a win before the tournament, but like I don't know. I'd rather just them not be just have a match than them just waste my time with him obviously squashing R-Truth.
But like he didn't have it. Like I know you liked the debut match with Ambrose.
Yeah.
And I had the argument because I just feel, why is he in the tournament? He just got called. And we praise NXT. I love NXT, but he just got called up the main roster. Why the hell is he in the WWE title tournament? He does not deserve to be in there whatsoever.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I'm saying. One match before beating R-Truth, is that really going to make much of a difference?
No, it's not. But
that's why I didn't.
I just feel
care.
Yeah, right.
I think it's just a waste of time, like to have an R-Truth, a Jack Swagger, a Mark Henry at this point in his career.
They love to do that though. That's one of their favorite things to do.
I mean, they're booking since
probably since '93. You know,
way longer.
Than that.
Squash matches.
Match has been around since we haven't been born. So.
I generally don't agree with squash matches for the most part. There's some where you can do it right, but like I mean, Tyler Breeze comes out there. It's goddamn R-Truth. He's not going to win. No. Like he just lost to Ambrose.
R-Truth hasn't been on the throw like a month.
He has a match with Ziggler coming up that they didn't tie into at all. It's like what the hell?
Right.
Like there's just way better ways they could have done it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's cool to see Tyler Breeze get a win, but I mean at the same time, I don't care. So
yeah.
So getting into the actual tournament, quarterfinals got all settled. So you're in the semifinal going into the pay-per-view. Just start with Neville versus Kevin Owens. Cool matchup. Definitely a cool matchup, I thought.
Personally, this was my favorite match of the night. That's just me. I thought these guys put on a hell of a physical match.
Really quick too for how good of a match it was.
Yeah, it was very. I thought it was a really good match, like back and forth. Neville looked strong. I thought
Neville's last like counter out of the pop up powerbomb was really nice when he hit
with
that,
the top rope move.
Yeah,
that was insane. I never seen him do that.
Well, this was one too where going in, logic would tell you Kevin Owens wins this one, but for a second I'm thinking,
Maybe
Neville might win this one.
Maybe
this might be your upset for the tournament.
Maybe they pull out. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they do pull the upset.
And I mean, you could get away with it. The IC title isn't on the line. It sets up a feud with them for the IC title.
Exactly. Very good point.
And
Very
on
good
the other
point.
side, Ambrose is clearly going to win, so who advances really doesn't matter. Especially, I mean, Owens has the IC belt, so like you could even argue Neville advancing further than Owens would like make the matchup of Owens versus Ambrose, like that next matchup, like more like who's going to win, just because of the fact that usually someone with a title doesn't win another title.
Yeah. You never know.
I mean, obviously, Rollins just did it,
Right.
but very, very rarely happens.
I know it really happens. But you never know.
Kevin Owens
We
would
are-
be the guy to do
WWE's
it.
done some
He's
weird
the contract
stuff.
fighter.
Also, right after that match, all of a sudden, just kind of out of nowhere, Kevin Owens gets in a Twitter feud with Melissa Joan Hart.
And blocks her.
Here's the thing, though.
Wait, Kevin Owens got in a Twitter fight with Sabrina the
Oh,
Teenage Witch.
yes.
All right.
His Twitter's
Here-
amazing.
Here's the thing, though. That was probably set up because
She called him like a lazy wrestler. Right?
no, yeah,
Just
just
she comes on Raw. In
just the
2
stuff
weeks.
that was coming from the account on her end. I'm like, yeah, this might have been staged.
it's still really funny.
What
though.
if she got? What if like
She follows me on Twitter, so
I know
whatever.
she does. Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. For some.
Maybe she's a Smark Show fan. Shout out Sabrina.
This is
That's a good
before
show.
the Smart Show.
No, this was
happened,
before the Smart
This
Show.
happened like a year ago,
Yeah.
and I texted Steve. I'm like, dude, like Melissa Joan Hart just followed me on Twitter. I have no clue why.
You are a handsome fellow. I know you guys can't say this, but Nick is a solid 10 out of 10.
My face.
Hey.
You can't even see my face
His
in like,
chin
the Twitter picture.
is as chiseled as the Crimson Chins, but it's not as bulbous. It's very nice to his face.
Absolutely.
Drinking
I
some
couldn't agree more.
Drinking some Propel right now to keep himself in that fine.
It's just a
lean,
Propel
fit-
bar. There's
physique.
regular water in this. Regular tap water.
Regular tap.
You don't have to tell them that, Nick.
Yeah, you can be honest.
Yes, I do. We're all about transparency here at the Smark Show.
On the show, we're all like 6'4", like 200 pounds of cut lean muscle.
Define cut.
Billionaires.
6 packs,
Dude, I have
wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying.
I only have like $5 and ones in my wallet right now.
Yeah, that dream died really quickly.
But but I guess Owens' pop-up powerbomb to Neville was disgusting. He threw him down so hard, and then he got the nice win. I love the finishers though. That it's only one
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
Another thing I want to bring up: every guy in their match looked very strong. The guy losing, we usually see on NXT. That was something I
That's
did
one of
like.
our main
You're
complaints
saying
about
for all
main
four
roster.
matches?
Yeah, for all 4 matches. Yeah. Which I was very impressed with.
I was I mean, there were some weird things with this tournament. For overall, I've been a big fan of this tournament. Like, like Titus, like that was a weird like entrant. I'm a big fan of Titus, but like that was a really weird
Absolutely,
one.
Kalisto
Well,
was
it's
weird.
actually-
Yeah,
It's
Especially
actually
beating
this
Ryback.
tournament
Right.
too, and I don't think we brought this up yet. It gives some guys who have a history of being pretty good workers, but just had nothing to do for the longest time.
Cesaro,
It gives them some backing a little bit. It gives them
That's-
some ground to stand on.
Definitely.
That's why like I'm always it's like a big disappointment for me with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal thing. I'm a big fan of them just doing like specials, like how they did the King of the Ring, the Elimination Chamber, because when you like note that something's like separate from other matches, fans automatically pay more attention, and that's like a big way for them to build up young guys, and they very rarely take advantage of it. Like with the Andre the Giant thing, Cesaro won that, and like every single fan except for the people in WWE were like, oh shit, this means something. Like he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. That means he's gonna go places. Almost the same, like I almost had
That pop
a
was
similar
ridiculous.
feeling to like someone winning Money in the Bank, where it's like this means you're gonna go do something.
Yes.
And like then they paired him up with Heyman, and then they were just like, oh, now we're just not gonna pay any more attention to you.
Pretty much.
I like this tournament. I hope that they don't do that with. Like, I hope that they use this tournament to really propel these guys, especially Cesaro of all people. Because I mean, talk about someone who has just turned
Do
nothing
you want
into
to talk
something.
about Cesaro now? I mean,
Yeah,
We might as well.
I wanna get
Ambrose
into
and
that
Ziggler
match.
was
We'll get into that,
earlier on the
yeah.
card, but
Yeah, great match. Especially like the fact that we, like, everyone in that arena and everyone in booking and everyone creative, all the fans watching knew that Cesaro wasn't going to win that match.
Bullshit.
People had, their doubts every now and again, but Roman Reigns was the 99.99% chance winner. And they still put on what I would say is an A match.
Desperately holding on to hope that Cesaro was going to pull that off.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, going into that match, I mean, you saw Triple H going around talking to people before the match. So he talked to Kevin Owens, and then they cut to Cesaro sitting in the locker room before the match, and here's Triple H walking up, and I literally I'm sitting there, and I just I stood straight up and went, wait a minute, what is this? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. And Triple H just starts saying all the things that we've actually been saying on this show for weeks now, that people have been saying on wrestling websites and forums for months now.
Years.
He's just saying, I think you have everything it takes to be the guy. I think it's time you grab that brass ring. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to see everything I wanted to happen.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet, but
Steve, I mean, I was like, I'm texting.
Yeah,
dude, are you seeing this? And I went to get something to eat. What happened? I was like, are you kidding me?
Of course, I missed one of the coolest parts of the show. I was getting a sandwich. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me! He's talking to Triple H. What the hell?
Here's the thing. Even though it didn't work out the way a lot of people would have wanted it to, this tells me that they do know.
Well, they better freaking know.
They do know that.
They don't.
You could take that with a grain of salt. Though,
they don't.
I want to believe that they know, and they are going to do something.
Last year at Survivor Series, when they did what they did with Ziggler, I said,
they won't do shit with them.
They know. Pathetic. Last year with Ziggler, same thing. I was like, they know. Like Ziggler.
Nick tweeted that actually.
Yeah, Ziggler's gonna go do things. Like they just put him at the top spot of this, one of the big 4 pay-per-views, and then gone. Just like what I was saying.
Lost the title the next month.
That's what I was saying earlier with the Andre the Giant thing. Like just they don't hold anything to account.
Now my
optimism, I'm with you, Nick. Like I hope they do something with him.
I'm taking the optimistic approach because I mean, because he just went out there, and I mean you gotta give credit to Roman Reigns. He has to, he had a role in how good the match was too. Steve, as much as you want to deny that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But one person can't carry the match alone. You've seen plenty of examples of that. Dude, Cesaro just
oh my God.
Put on a show, man.
The dude was like it's almost like when Bray Wyatt was feuding with The Undertaker, he just did everything himself and it was still gold. Well, not gold, but it was good.
It was very good.
Cesaro goes out there. You could put him in the ring with a turd, and he would put on a 5-star match. Like, he would somehow make that turd look like a great opponent that's damaging him. Like,
he had great matches with Khali.
He'd swing the turd around, and everyone would be like, oh my God. 5-star match.
I'm not disagreeing.
How about
great Khali? He had great matches with Khali.
How about how about a way that's more fitting in the industry? If you threw him in with a broom.
If you threw him in there with Eva Marie, he would be able to put on a good match.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, there you go.
I was waiting for that one.
He's that good, folks. He could make Eva Marie not suck. Cesaro's that good in the ring. You heard it here on the Smark Show.
Wow.
Yeah. Eva Marie sucks is probably like our goddamn, like, we should make that a theme song or something. But,
Oh, yeah, well, it was a fun week on NXT.
Yeah. Let's save that.
My thoughts on the match,
depressing news.
I thought it was a very good match. I'm not disagreeing with you guys.
Technically great match.
It's just I just think they should have put this on. He should have been in the semifinals at least. He's not going to win, but give him that big rub in the pay-per-view match.
This should have been
not Del Rio, because Del Rio's not going to win.
He should have been in Del Rio's spot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
He should have got that.
Yeah.
He should be on Survivor Series.
Because then on
now
Survivor
he's going to be in a
Series,
stupid elimination match.
It would be Reigns beating Cesaro.
And I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, Reigns beating Cesaro would have been a really good match. Ambrose beating Owens, great. And then fingers crossed, Ambrose beating Reigns, phenomenal.
It shows they trust Cesaro, even though they do trust him. But he gets a rub. One of the 4 big pay-per-views. Why don't you do that?
But I mean, this is typical WWE.
I know it is.
I mean, look at the final 4. The 2 obvious people who everyone said was going to be in the finals beforehand, and the 2 champions.
Right.
The IC and the US title.
Yep.
For some reason, WWE, through their whole history, people don't win 2 belts. Again, it happens, but it doesn't. And
it happens rarely.
In every tournament, at the end, it's almost always like some tag team guys or like the mid carders, and everyone's like, They're clearly not going to move forward. So why are you wasting our time with that? It's like, it's
Usos or
2000 and one of the Dudley boys comes out in the Royal Rumble. It's like, clearly this guy's not going to main event WrestleMania by himself.
Right.
Clearly Alberto Del Rio is not going to hold the U.S. Championship and the world title.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious Cesaro wasn't going to win it, but it was possible. Like, it was somewhat believable. Now it's like, all right, so you're giving us 2 throwaway matches in Ambrose and Owens and Cesaro and Reigns and Del Rio.
Yeah. I think Ambrose and Owens are going to tear the freaking house down, though.
A really good match.
I mean, top indie guys in the world.
Top indie.
Come on. That's going to be an absolute great match.
Moxley versus Steen.
I would not count out Owens, though. I'm just going to keep saying that. I will keep saying that. But, yeah, I mean, you guys want to talk about Ambrose and Ziggler? I mean, that was a really good match, too.
It was.
Love the
differences of the matches as well.
I really liked with this match how they made it like a battle of equals. Like they had like this mat wrestling in the beginning where like they tried to hit their finishers and everyone like they were like it was almost like a respect, like you're my equal. Like I know you're really dangerous and I know your moveset. I'm dangerous. We can counter each other. It's whoever messes up first. And then they did that for a while. They got tired. It turned into a brawl. Like just both dudes throwing everything out there.
They did a hell of a job with that match. They told a story. They actually told a story.
Ziggler's another one like Cesaro where he can just get in there with anybody.
Absolutely.
If he cares about it, it's going to be a 5-star match.
Definitely.
And shout out to him shouting out Shawn Michaels and tuning up the band. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No.
He one of the kicks he like.
Oh, did he really? Oh man, I missed that.
Ziggler's awesome, dude.
No, but the promo we cut afterward.
Ambrose? Yeah, he hasn't talked in forever.
Ambrose Asylum.
He just grabbed it. No, I just love how he was just going. He was just going off, and like when he really called me, he just turns around and goes, "No more talking." And I went, "Preach, Dean, preach."
I'm gonna replace Michael Cole with a fish tank.
Yes.
He was. That was. Well, not my favorite because I mean,
he's had some good.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was really good, actually. That's short, subtle, and sweet.
I saw someone online.
He just grabbed the mic and went nuts, and that was it.
That's all he has to do.
Someone online, they made a little good comparison. They said it was a mixture of Roddy Piper and Brian Pillman, that little promo there.
Yeah.
They said with like a spice of CM Punk, and I was like, dude, that is a good, a good little medley they just made there.
I mean, here's what I'm ultimately hoping. Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose is kind of what we've been thinking going into this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And obviously Roman Reigns, becomes champion.
Yeah, it's the clear cut.
Dude, you can even see it in the ads leading up and his shirt that just got put out. That you were prepped for a Roman Reigns title reign.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping like they just axe it last minute and Ambrose wins somehow.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
Them like the whole little segments Cesaro did with Triple H beforehand. Well, Triple H did with Cesaro. It proves that they are listening to fans. So if they're that in touch to know, well, they don't do what the fan. Steve, you cannot say they don't know what fans want. They don't do it, but they know it. Triple H always alludes that he knows what the fans are talking about.
I think Triple H does. I don't think Vince does.
But he's a top guy in the company, so I mean, essentially,
Cesaro?
I'd say there's two people who have a bigger opinion in the company than Triple H.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm not disagreeing.
Well, I'm saying with them knowing like that intimate of a level, like how like over Cesaro's with fans. How are they gonna just put Roman Reigns as the champion? Because if they know that much about like Cesaro and all that stuff,
they're too damn stubborn.
But I'm saying if they know that much about Cesaro and all those guys, like they have to know that the fans are just gonna start hating Reigns again if he just wins like this.
It's gonna happen. So.
I mean, I'm not doubting. I'm probably like 95 Reigns wins, 5 Ambrose.
Right. I'm kind of seeing it this way: WrestleMania, last minute they're like, okay, we can't actually do this. This isn't working. Reigns is not ready. And I feel like this
Took
time...
you a while.
I think this time, they're like, all right, no, we're actually going to do it this time. Not going to cower out the last... Not to say that they cowered out at WrestleMania, but no, we're actually going to do it. It seems like, no, we're actually going to do it this time just to see what's going to happen.
I mean, if there's a time it was tailor-made for him to step up, it's now. The top guy's out. Let's see.
Well,
let's see if it's for them as a corporate entity, or like I can see this as them saying, all right, this is our time to see if this guy is going to be our next Cena. Because if he is, he can step up right now. If he's not, We know we have a waste of time, and we got to move on to somebody else.
Absolutely.
So for that, I see them putting the belt on him now. But just as a fan, like I just I gotta hope that they realize that if Ambrose walks out of this tournament as champion, he's gonna be the biggest champ they've had in a long time. Bigger than Rollins, bigger than Brock,
Bigger than Bryan.
Yeah, gonna be huge, huge. If
Punk.
he beats Roman Reigns clean in here, just like Roman Reigns hits him with, especially if Reigns hits him with a spear and he kicks out. Could you imagine that? That won't happen. But if Ambrose walks out of here with that belt, like clean, no shenanigans, he just walks out as champ, that's the biggest champ they've had in such a long time.
That would be incredible.
That's such a
that
huge
sounds so
talking
good,
point.
but
Such a huge talking point to get the ratings back up because people are going to be like, holy shit, who the hell's Dean Ambrose? Like,
yeah, who is this guy?
Yeah, like, let's
why don't we
really
tune in and watch?
Yeah, I don't think you get that with Reigns. I think you get a lot of fans who are in similar mindset to us who are going to be pissed off that this guy's champ again already.
Or they're doing something similar to what they've been doing the last 10 years with John Cena.
Yeah. I mean, as a main roster, like kayfabe, Roman Reigns does have more credentials to be champion than Dean Ambrose.
He does.
But, I mean, they have to realize fans are smarter now, and we recognize outside achievements almost as much as we recognize WWE achievements. They have to factor that in.
They saw what happens when everyone thought Ambrose got that belt.
Yeah.
They lost their shit.
Yeah, I was going to talk. I completely forgot about that earlier. Yeah, that was a proving point right there, and that was how long ago where it's going to be even more build up since then.
Yeah.
What crowd is this? Where's this at?
That is a very good. Oh, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, that'll be a good
Atlanta?
crowd.
Yeah, it's Atlanta, Georgia.
That'll be a good crowd.
Yeah, that'll be solid.
Yeah.
They're WCW former WCW.
I was trying to think of like the pop at the end if Ambrose were to win.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was in Philly and Ambrose won. Oh my
cry.
god, dude.
We would be there.
Just get the flyers there, like Giroux will just come out and hoist them up. Ambrose is a big Flyers fan.
Get the big goal horn going.
But yeah, I mean, you just gotta think that you just gotta not think, but you gotta hope that they just go with fans for like once. Like, well, they gave us.
They did give us Seth though.
I was about to say they gave us Bryan and Seth. I don't like Bryan, but I know most fans do. But I mean, come on, it's Ambrose, bastards. You didn't give us Cesaro. Give us Ambrose.
You gave us a shit Money in the Bank winner. So come on.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? Can we talk about that real quick? What the hell is up with Sheamus?
Sheamus wasn't on last Raw, so that makes sense.
Where is he? Yeah, I was like,
where's Sheamus?
Where even is Sheamus?
The belt is vacant right now. Well, can't Sheamus just cash in?
We don't know.
I mean, loophole there. They're not going to address it on TV. But if Sheamus was like, I want to challenge the champion right now, they're like, oh, there is none. It's like, oh, well, what do you know?
Can I cash in for the belt then?
Yeah,
he honestly could. Like, I don't.
See, creative stuff that would just throw a swerve in the whole company. Like,
they did do a really good job.
And the pay-per-view's coming up, so who knows? Maybe at the pay-per-view he walks out and does something. It won't be cool because no one cares about Sheamus.
It'll be fucking horrible.
I'm just saying they might do something.
Oh, I think they definitely gonna do something.
But no, they'll procrastinate until there's some set champion who doesn't have an opponent for a month. And they'll let them cash in and lose.
No,
probably.
Could you imagine in the creative room? They're just writing this up. All right, we're going to do this tournament, and Roman's going to win, and he's going to have a title reign. And then someone just walks in, and it's like, "Hey guys, how's the script going so far? Oh, we got this. Okay, cool. What about Sheamus? What do you mean? He still has the briefcase." Oh, damn.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, but yeah.
What they need to do is have him go into a feud with someone for the briefcase.
Someone like Cesaro?
Because that would be awesome. Because then it puts more spotlight on the briefcase because most people probably forgotten about it by now.
More spotlight on Sheamus.
Yeah. And you're like, it makes the briefcase a really valuable prize because these two dudes are battling for it, and then you put it in the hands of the right person who can, even if you don't want them to win, say they still don't think Cesaro's ready, he would still be entertaining with the belt or with the briefcase because fans would buy into it.
I would freaking love it.
Oh yeah, I would lose. I think
I'd lose my
if
shit
Ambrose
if that
couldn't win, if Ambrose couldn't win at the belt here, he would be my number one choice, but Cesaro would be definitely number two.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's Ziggler's on the roster, and I'm still.
Cesaro's actually number one for me right now.
Yeah, Ambrose is probably over him for me.
Really?
Yeah, Cesaro's as I said last week,
we talked about it.
He really sold me as a top champion, but I just have a special thing for Ambrose. Dude.
As do I.
Especially being from Philly, how much he reps Philly.
And, with the Flyers.
I'm all about Ambrose.
Yeah,
Ambrose.
We all know that.
Yeah, Nick's a bigger fan of him than
he's a huge fan. Very huge fan.
Yeah. Steve's got his boy Finn Balor. That's
my boy.
His ride or die
Also,
wrestler.
also a big fan of Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all big fans of him.
Yeah,
Come on.
we like a lot of
We all liked a lot of the similar people.
that core stereotypical indie group.
Look,
you know?
we like people, except when we don't.
Except when they're Eva Marie, then we don't like them.
It's very true.
I mean,
had to get it in there.
I dislike
I
Eva
complimented her slightly earlier, so I had to bring her back.
I dislike Eva Marie. So.
I don't think that's going to change at this point. So,
Pretty much.
anyway, just to get back on Raw, the Ascension versus the Dudley Boys.
Hey, the
Now,
Dudleys have been on for 2 weeks, so let's just put them in a squash match with the Ascension.
Yeah,
that
let's
was-
have
that was a match.
let's take a young up and coming team who are kind of building something with the Cosmic Wasteland. Let's not mention the Cosmic Wasteland really, not have Stardust come out,
No.
and then let's have them lose in 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of
Ding ding ding! Good booking for the day.
that kind of brings us to the last match we really have left to talk about: Kalisto versus Del Rio. I mean,
That mask pull though.
I'm very.
Did you guys see that?
no. What I want to say first
Okay.
and foremost is I do like that they're giving Kalisto time too.
That's why I was about to say
Definitely.
that. I was about to agree with you.
Wasn't the most thrilling match.
No.
Technically sound, yeah.
You pretty much described every one of Del Rio's matches ever, almost.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
true.
kind of like the same thing with the Dudley Boys. Del Rio came back, and now the shock of his return kind of wore off, and now
They
it's
didn't
kind
do
of flat.
anything with it. Like,
And they
you know?
had both of them have the misfortune of being in the end of the bracket where they're not serious threats for the title.
Yeah, that was definitely
Yeah.
the most throw off.
Now, if Del Rio didn't have the U.S. title, I would maybe consider him.
Yeah, definitely. Especially him coming back. Like
Exactly.
it's like, they brought him back for he probably wouldn't have signed for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool for Kalisto.
I like
You
that
know,
they gave him a little interview before the
with them
match
both
and
being
stuff.
with that like it. You
Triple
definitely-
H also talked to him too, but by that point, after doing Cesaro, it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, you talked to Del Rio, right? You're saying, yeah.
I feel like you can definitely see them reaching for like the next Latino like top star in the company.
Absolutely.
Because
They actually
always-
just signed someone.
they always
Yeah.
have one. They have they had Rey Mysterio for the longest time. Del Rio, Sin Cara they tried so hard with, but he
Eddie
was
Guerrero.
a flop. Eddie Guerrero. So Kalisto's been so promising in NXT and whatnot that
Sin Cara and all his botch memes.
yeah, he had to
Yep.
get changed.
They had to replace him with Hunico.
But I think
I love that they kept the character
did.
but didn't keep the actual
Yeah,
person.
yep.
this is a cool little jumping point to get him on like the right track for that. I think it'll be a slow build, just like
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, just like Eddie Guerrero. But he's got the
But
talent.
He
That
does
kid's
have the
awesome.
talent. He's very young. Let's see what he does.
One thing I was laughing. I asked you guys. Did you see Del Rio pull his mask off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
hilarious,
great.
yeah.
Someone
was
mentioned
disrespect.
Someone
Disrespectful.
mentioned like he this might have been Bleacher or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
That like he's been wrestling in Mexico and like I don't watch like much Mexican wrestling, but apparently a prime thing you go for is a heel there is to rip off the face's mask.
Yes.
It's like the highest thing of disrespect in
Yep.
Mexican wrestling. So he's
Lucha
probably
Libre, yeah.
he's probably thinking back to his days with Mysterio down there, trying to pull people's masks off
Yeah.
and went a little too far.
I love Del Rio's new finisher, by the way.
Yeah, it's great.
Very good move.
Yeah,
The stomp, I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah, what are they not? They don't have like a real name for
I
it.
don't know. I don't know. I'll have to check, but it's a very good move.
Yeah.
It adds it to his arsenal. Besides the
I
cross
definitely,
arm breaker.
Yeah, I definitely. I wasn't a big fan of the cross arm breaker, so I'm
solid
cool with
submission.
this.
It's okay,
I just don't.
but
I
it's
don't-
good that he's getting a new finish.
I generally am not a big submission guy, so that's probably why. So unless
Right.
it's like a really cool one, like the Brock.
I dig it.
Lock or
I dig this
Hell's
submission.
Gate.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean they're all right.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up Raw. Everything there was to talk about there. So, Survivor Series time? Predictions? Picks?
Sure.
Well, let's go through the card real quick because a lot
Alright.
of people probably they haven't been very clear with the cards.
Well,
so
I'll read it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 days ago they
So,
had 5 matches, but yeah.
I'll start with the confirmed matches. We got Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze.
it'll be a decent match. A good work either way. It won't be long, but it'll be a good match.
Undertaker and Kane versus the Wyatt family. Did
They-
Bray
did
ever
they-
say what his two were?
It's sent to.
Oh,
They,
so
they
Wyatt.
confirmed it on SmackDown.
Okay, so Wyatt and Strowman.
Yes.
All right, that makes sense.
Yep.
Roman Reigns versus Del Rio, and then Ambrose versus Owens in the semifinals
Semifinals.
for the tournament.
And the finals.
Yeah. Then the finals will
likely Reigns
obviously
and
be-
Ambrose
Yeah.
Charlotte versus Paige.
for the Divas title, and then unconfirmed as of right now, Sasha Banks versus Natalia.
Yep.
And little talks about that,
yes.
so could happen.
Yeah, it could happen.
Maybe a pre-show match.
That's
if
what I was
anything,
expecting. Yeah.
So we have it on there, and then the traditional Survivor Series,
Which
match,
is confirmed, but we
5-on-5.
don't know the guys.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. Me and Steve just had like some quick picks, just the obvious. At first, I said it was going to be throwaway guys like Slater and them, but I don't think they'll go that low.
No, they
It'll
won't.
probably be the New Day captain a team. The Usos and Ryback are on a team, so you got 3 and 3, and then you add 2 faces and heels. So you probably add Sheamus and Barrett to the heel team,
Right.
and you add Neville and Cesaro to the face team.
And you,
Man,
That's
that
probably what
Survivor
it's gonna
Series
be.
match isn't going to be as fun
Yeah,
because you're not
it's a
going to
shame.
have. You don't have the stakes, but you also don't have Ziggler win the whole thing by himself.
But like, how is that? How do we not have like a hype Survivor Series match with the 25th anniversary of?
Because you got all this other stuff going
The
on.
anniversary of Taker, the Wyatts are here, and they're feuding, and they
Well,
don't
next
have
year-
like a traditional match. But like,
it's the 29th year for Survivor Series, so I could expect something big next year.
But I'm just saying,
But
like-
yeah, I understand.
just with who's involved in this, like you have the Wyatts, who are one of the biggest stables they've had in a while, and the Brothers of Destruction are reformed, and you don't have them in like a real match.
I think they really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
should have been a Survivor
the
Series
Wyatts
match.
had 4 people.
Why not
already.
have 2 Survivor Series matches?
The
you know?
Wyatts had 4 people already in their group. So you do a 4-on-4. Give the Brothers of Destruction somebody else.
Sting and Finn Balor.
Yeah, that would be great. No, but that for real, you could bring up an NXT guy.
Give
that
him
would
the
be
rub.
a really
It's-
good showing for them, and then you bring. Hopefully you can get like a guest like if Daniel Bryan's ready, like that would be
Jericho
awesome.
or
Sting,
something.
Jericho, yeah.
Is
Any of
there
these guys.
like an update on Sting right now?
I have not heard
Last I
anything.
heard he was like pretty hurt, like post show, but I haven't heard
The,
much
the
after
only
that.
thing I heard of was after Night of Champions. I
That's
have
what I'm
not heard
saying, yeah.
anything since.
I feel like they might be like playing that close to them though, as they have done with Sting's whole tenure here so far. They haven't.
He'll be back around
Yeah.
Rumble time.
They haven't showed him off that often. Like he just when he's ready to go, he's there. He
Yeah.
doesn't like do like preliminary things much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying because it sounded like the injury was pretty serious, and
But we never got
like,
details. Like we know what body parts he got hurt, but like what his actual
but
injury was.
but I'm saying the way he described everything.
Yeah.
it
It didn't
sounded
sound-
pretty bad.
yeah, it did.
But anyway, yeah, I guess we'll now that we read off the card and got a bit off topic there, but I mean, getting off topic is kind of our thing at this point.
It's the Smark Show, baby.
We've pretty much talked about the whole card though. I mean,
So
Ziggler and Breeze. I don't think there's going to be much there. It'll be a quick little fun.
It's Snake's
match.
picks though.
Yeah, we'll save Snick's picks for the end here.
He got to make that a big deal.
the very end of- the very end of
let's
the
get
show.
on the Snick's picks now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now,
Alright.
let's Snake's picks
Yeah.
now.
So, as always, since we don't do this every episode, we do it like once every.
Well,
3 or
pay per
4.
view. Yeah.
For you.
All right, so basically, Snick's picks is all right. So even before we start doing this show, we would go watch a pay per view at Steve's house. He would put a sheet of paper on the table with the entire card on it, and we would write our picks. At a certain point, well, not even at a certain point. From the start, when we started doing that, I never took those things seriously and would just write either the most ridiculous answers or would just draw something or whatever, to the point where I needed my own sheet because I was taking up space. So we basically tried to translate those over to the podcast. Still not sure how well it translates, but we try
We
anyway.
haven't figured
It's a
out-
worldwide trend, guys.
We haven't figured out the
Not at
technology.
all.
We don't have the technology here at the Smark Show to translate imagery into audio yet. So
I think that's
Nor does
called
the
video.
world.
Video. Like, video.
We'll figure that out at some point.
Absolutely.
Someday.
ladies and gentlemen, Snick's picks.
So,
First match.
Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze. So, do you want to give your official picks first, and I'll go?
Yes.
Yeah, you can take it, Steve.
All right,
Me?
Steve, take it away.
This, like Mike said before, this will be like 8-10 minute match. I'm going to go Breeze here. I think he's going to get the win.
Yeah.
Ziggler's the kind of guy who'll put someone over.
Dolph Ziggler's career history as of late has noted that he wins a match or two, then loses
Plus,
two.
exactly,
then
Ziggler's
whatever. So he's coming off a win streak, so he's losing here.
Exactly, since he's won some matches
Yeah,
against
Tyler
Rusev.
Breeze could definitely use the rub. Ziggler puts people over, so
And this would be a good run, for sure.
Breeze gets the dub.
All right,
I also
Nick.
say Breeze gets the dub by smacking Ziggler in the face with the selfie stick.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
good heel move.
would be a good
Wait, would that be a DQ?
No, well, if he
ref doesn't
doesn't
see
see
it.
it, lying, cheating, stealing.
Look,
He's got a manager. That's what they do. They distract refs.
Win or DQ. The only thing that matters is Dolph Ziggler gets hit in the face with the selfie stick.
It would be awesome if when he gets hit, he snaps a selfie and he hits him with the selfie stick, takes a picture, uploads it to Twitter mid match. I've always wanted him to do that.
That's even better.
I've always wanted him to be live tweet it Periscope or something.
Yeah, he did Periscope for his entrance. For a live event at NXT. I watched it. I was part of his entrance. It was pretty
his
cool.
whole NXT. I was like, dude, why don't you
He did it before,
take pictures with the fans when you're coming down.
I've only seen him do it once, but it was pretty freaking cool. It was awesome.
That's one thing I would bring up about Raw. I forgot. Head back to that real quick here. Awesome tactic with Summer Rae reapplying the lip gloss to him.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
WWE, we have different opinions on his booking and stuff as of yet, but they've done such a good job of making him giving him all the little niche things that his character needs to succeed. They haven't really given him that ferocious edge yet where people have to take him seriously, but they've done a good job of building up the little parts of his character that'll make him cool.
What the casual viewers can see and see what he's actually all about.
Summer Rae continuing to get that TV time.
Yeah, good job.
Hey, kudos to you, Summer Rae.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not the biggest fan of you in the ring, but good job doing what you got to do to get out there.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
Next up, we have on the list Undertaker and Kane versus Wyatt and Strowman. Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Yep.
This is so hard to pick, so you can go first, Steve.
I'm going to say it's easy. I think it's going to be Wyatt and Strowman.
Okay.
I think Wyatt or Strowman's going to pin Kane.
Okay.
Clean. I think it's going to be clean too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. Stupid WWE booking history goes against my logic here, saying, we're just going to give it to the veterans because fans don't care about wins and losses. So I can equally see that happening. But the pessimism's going to shine, or the optimism will shine through here. And same thing you said, Kane takes the pin, obviously.
Yes.
Taker won't take it.
Yeah, no way. He just lost it
they
on
get
himself.
They get the win.
Yeah.
Here you go. Do you think Wyatt or Strowman gets the pin?
I'm going to say Wyatt.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
All right, try to keep up with this one.
Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
All right.
Buckle up, guys.
Buckle up. You're in for a ride.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Buckle up, buckaroos.
So
2% milk.
So 2-on-2, right? It starts out that way. But there's four Wyatt family members.
Yeah.
He's going to try some trickery because Bray Wyatt knows he can't take these guys on, by himself, and they've shown that they're able to take on Strowman.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
So Harper and Rowan, get involved somehow, right? And it seems like Taker and Kane are overmatched. All of a sudden, lights cut.
Oh God.
Heartbeat.
Would you stop?
God damn, I knew it was about to happen.
You just gotta.
The smoke machines go off.
Slater push.
I wasn't going to say Slayer push, but actually, yeah. I was going to say Finn Balor shows up.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I thought.
No chance.
I thought we were going with the Slater push here.
All right. So Finn Balor.
It's Slater.
Well, they need two teammates.
Look. Finn Balor. All right, I'm altering this a little bit now. Thanks, Kevin.
Way to go.
Finn Balor comes in. Everyone's losing it, but then lights cut again. And you're like, wait, there's one more, and you just hear, I'm a 3-man band. Slater push. Army of Darkness.
Another curveball. What if they come out like Freak the Mighty with Slater on Finn Balor's shoulders? That could work. It would throw off the demons. People would be like, what the hell's that thing crawling through the smoke? And then the lights just turn on. There's just this magnificent ginger on top of Finn Balor's chiseled shoulders, ready to destroy the Brothers of Destruction or the Wyatts.
That would be something special.
Oh God, the picture I have in my head right now is glorious.
Didn't 2.0 there.
Did he? So who's your
Cap tagging in there.
So who's your pick?
What?
Yeah, who wins?
Who wins? You didn't give it.
All you said was Finn Balor comes out.
You gotta give him what?
Doesn't matter at that point. Nothing makes sense anymore by the time that happens.
That's true. Finn Balor comes out on cool with whatever happens.
Well, Taker and Kane. If you have Finn Balor and Heath Slater on your side,
you'll see me outside the house going insane. So that's whenever he debuts.
Okay, so next Snick pick here.
What do you guys?
Reigns versus Del Rio.
Steve, you can just keep taking them.
Are you kidding me? Roman.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, Roman. No,
the benefit of time.
Roman.
So.
Yeah, I think this one goes to Dirt Master Roman.
Bitch.
Hey, behave yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah, stop acting like a bitch, Steve.
Yeah, hey, behave yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, stop being a bitch.
Yes. Yeah. All right, next match.
Oh.
What do we got?
Yeah, he said
Ambrose
Dirtman
versus
Reigns.
Owens. Dirt Master Reigns.
This should kick off the show, honestly.
So
Might
Ambrose
start the
versus
show on
Owens.
too much of a high point for them to capitalize on.
Well, you got to give him the high.
I think let's just get that out of the way. I think Ziggler and Prince Pretty open the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're I feel like both of their careers are just like opening acts so far. So
You're probably right, but I'm going to go with Ambrose and Owens.
okay. So who do you pick there?
I'm going Ambrose.
Yeah, Ambrose, obvious.
Even though I'd love to see Owens, but
yeah,
it's going to be
it's
Ambrose.
obviously Ambrose.
I'm giving Owens a 1% chance.
It'll be cool to see the pop-up powerbomb versus the spear because no one really kicks out of either of those.
No, they do not.
But
Nick?
We go into the asylum. I'm already checked in.
I think we know where that's at.
they already got the goldfish to replace
how about we keep
Michael Cole.
How about we keep the finals for last and go to Charlotte and Paige next
Yeah.
Okay. So Charlotte and Paige.
for the Divas title now. So now we got a big match. I'm going curveball. I'm picking Paige.
Okay.
Okay.
And Becky Lynch is going to get involved.
Okay.
P and B. Interesting.
Yes.
It's a hard one to pick, which is cool.
Peanut butter.
This isn't
Exactly.
most Divas feuds. You pretty much know who's going to win. There's a pretty obvious like front runner diva of all of them, but they've got like 4 right now with Sasha, even though she's not on TV. Becky, Charlotte, and Paige. But I feel like they think they're too safe with Charlotte here. Like I think they feel very comfortable with her. Like she's a legacy in WWE, so I think she keeps the belt for a while. Especially with how much heat Paige got, I think they might even be a little afraid to touch her right now, like as champion.
Yeah.
So I think that they will back off on her as champ right away. So
Okay.
Charlotte. That long ramble led to Charlotte
Thank you.
and Snick.
Snick's picks.
It's Snick at Twitter.
All right. Nah. All right. That would be too cheap. Hold on. I like this whole peanut butter thing you got going, Steve.
You're welcome. I honestly believe Becky's getting involved in this match. I feel like they're going to do a transition to TLC and maybe Charlotte gets the belt back then.
Yeah.
Maybe give a stipulation match like a ladder or tables match
Definitely
or something.
pro Becky Lynch in like pretty much any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
So,
What are you thinking here, Nick?
yeah, this dead silence you're giving the airwaves here.
Nick does like Paige.
Doesn't really work with a video podcast, so
I do.
with an audio only podcast.
I do. What you said was really mean, though.
But what about the costume she did in February?
Oh, the whole princess thing. Yeah,
Remember that. Come on.
Oh, that was awesome. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Blue Pants that she stole the dress from too?
Oh my god, I'm
don't
going to have to
even
look that
remember.
up.
It was.
Was
yeah.
it really?
Yeah, it's Blue Pants, yeah.
That's awesome.
I miss blue pants. Anyway, off topic. All right.
Blue Pants wins.
Blue pants returns.
Blue Pants City,
Surprise
bitch.
return.
It's another cap altered Snick pick.
Wait, who did he pick? Blue Pants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue Pants apparently returns and wins.
Did I? I didn't even make that. I didn't even say a word. You guys did it for me.
There you go.
Well, that should explain
we
it.
Blue
coaxed it
Pants,
out
yeah.
of you.
Blue pants though, not like actual blue pants. A person though, just the pants.
Yes. They come out on themselves like Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
the
when the
first
pants
movie,
attacked.
Oh, yeah, that's a good episode.
They're just going both, like a pair of pants is just going to walk in the ring and Paige and Charlotte are just going to be looking like, what is going on?
That was a good throwback. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. Jimmy Neutron, good show.
Throwback Thursday yesterday. So, Nick, did you make a pick? Or?
That blue pants, but
blue
like just
pants,
the pants.
Gotcha. All right.
Six picks?
That's Nick's picks for you guys. So.
Just walk out and just start kicking Paige and Charlotte repeatedly.
We got any other ones here? We can't really do the 5-on-5.
The only way to defeat them is with like laundry detergent.
I'll just make a prediction for the 5-on-5. If Cesaro's in it, he's winning.
Yes, I agree. Anything Cesar's in, if he's in anything,
Has
for
to
the
win.
show wins, yes.
Has to win.
Yep, I agree with that. Nick,
And New Day can lose because it's not for the titles.
I don't know if you can do a Snicks for the 5-on-5. How about the Sasha Natalia? You could do a Snicks for that.
I can do a sneak for a 5-on-5.
All right, go with
Oh,
it.
we can do anything. Come on.
Let's run with it.
It's Nick's picks,
the
guys.
5-on-5 is going to be
You ready? You ready for this one?
Oh, we're ready.
Sheamus and Barrett in the New Day versus Ryback, the Usos,
Neville and Cesaro.
Cesaro. That's our
That's our prediction.
5-on-5.
All right. Atlanta Thrashers return and win it.
Oh snap! He just threw it down.
An entire hockey team just
They make the
comes out of
return.
the stands.
They returned from.
Just start just checking people all over the ring. That would be so awesome. We're back, bitches. R.I.P.
So
Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah, Winnipeg Jets.
They're not dead. They're in Winnipeg.
They're not in Atlanta. I don't think.
Atlanta.
I don't think Seattle considers Oklahoma their team anymore. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
They're trying to get the Kings, aren't they? Something like
I don't think
that.
it's gonna. I'm pretty sure they bought the Kings. We've been talking about a lot of other sports this episode.
That's
We're big sports fans, guys.
Sports is a busy world.
Yeah.
It really
Sports
is.
is a busy world.
But Thrashers come back and they thrash whatever team is on the other end and win. This
Yeah,
5-on-5.
with that weird like bird in like a swirly.
It'll be a
thing
it'll be a
looking
battle
logo.
between hockey sticks and trombones.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Dude,
And,
they slash the trombone and break it.
Absolutely.
We got one more, right?
Sasha and Natalia, then the
Natalya.
finals.
Yeah. What do you think for this one, Steve? If it happens,
I'm gonna pick Sasha.
yeah, I was gonna say this.
Gotta have Sasha go over.
Yeah,
If this match happens,
she's in the goddamn match and she doesn't win, the fans will riot. Like fans
Me.
always say like, if Cena wins, we riot. If Sasha loses, like her first real pay-per-view match, I think there might be a riot.
probably
Atlanta
it's
might
most
be the
likely
place
to
that
happen.
happens too.
Do you think she might roll up in the Escalade that she's used before?
That'll be so awesome.
If
Don't
so,
think it'll happen, but that'll
Mania.
be awesome.
if so, I pick the Escalade.
She'll do that at Mania.
Just run Natalia over.
I'm here.
This just turned
Let-
from a wrestling
let-
match to a hit and run.
You ever watch Rick and Morty?
No.
They just have this one like just improv episode where it's like intergalactic cable television, and they just find this one show where it's just car versus man. And it's just like, all right, here we have like this professional bodybuilder versus a regular car, and it just starts in the bodybuilder just trying to pick up the car just runs him over.
They got to do it with Lesnar.
It's like, oh, there's another victory for
That's
the
something
car.
Lesnar should do.
Wait, was that when were we talking about Lesnar versus the animals on this show?
You brought that up.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I forgot where that happened.
Sometimes you forget where we're at. Sometimes, but yeah, that was on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm still very pro Lesnar versus some
And-
gorillas and whatnot.
Oh my god, what happened to this show?
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
get back to the now.
Things we're talking about.
And now,
We got one more match.
the main event of the
Yeah.
night, which we all expect, which should be the finals of the WWE title tournament.
Okay.
Now,
Lead it off.
me?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be plain and simple. We got Ambrose versus Reigns. We all picked that. I'm going with Reigns.
Darn it.
And unfortunately, I'm going with the Reigns win. So, and it's going to be clean because it makes goddamn no sense.
Yeah.
And they won't do any big swerves because they hate us. So,
Yeah, as I said, I'm like 95%. I'm holding on to, like, I'm going to be watching this. I'm going to be hoping for Ambrose to win, like the fan in
or
me.
a swerve or something.
But the logical part of me says Roman Reigns wins. It's typical Vince McMahon booking. Oh, look, this babyface went through all these hardships, and then he wins at the end. Like that, you know. That's typical WWE Vince
Yes, it
McMahon
is.
led booking. So that's what'll happen.
Yep.
If you look at like his like strategy, I almost just said strategy for building up John Cena. I almost said Cena too. For building John Cena throughout his career, it's, you know, you always put him against all these challenges, and then in the end, he just triumphs no matter what.
Why? That's,
Seems like Reigns is going to follow the same
and I
trajectory.
don't want to see that shit for another 10
Neither
years.
do I, because I want to like Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns is just out there doing what Roman Reigns does, I'm a big fan of Roman Reigns. I like the basement drop kicks and all that stuff. The cheap pops from the crowd with the spear and the Superman punch. That's all cool.
Yeah.
I like that, but I don't want to see him become the corporate guy that Cena is, and that's what's going to happen if he becomes
Oh, it's
champ.
definitely happening. Samoa Cena all the way.
But yeah, for my pick, I agree. He's going to win.
The Sheamus cash in.
Really, really sucks that he's going to win. I think it's almost a foregone conclusion.
Yep.
We're so setting this so that if Ambrose does win, it'll be that much cooler.
And
So,
it'll be a very excited podcast for sure. But
it'll be a fun match either way because we're just gonna hope.
first time Reigns and Ambrose will go against each other if it does happen, which would
Yeah.
be really cool.
The other thing with this is we might see like a heel turn or something here too. Like this, we're saying right now it's going to be a straight face versus face fight. But a lot of people
There's
think
been
a lot
rumors.
of people think that Ambrose might, have went behind the scenes and talked to Triple H off camera like he did with everybody else, but they just didn't show it because he's
Right.
going to be the champ. And there's a lot of people who think Roman Reigns might, even though he so blatantly said, "I'm not going to join you guys," people think that is a bigger case for him to join them because nobody's going to expect it. So either way, this main event's going to be fun.
Yeah, first time them fighting on a main
Yeah.
roster. That's gonna be exciting alone.
Now, with that long build up, do you have a
Oh,
Snick's pick
God.
ready?
Well,
I already
I see a mischievous grin.
see the video.
This
so.
this is originally where I was going. You goddamn screen looker.
I'm sorry. I didn't
This
say
is
it.
originally where I was going to reserve the Slater push for.
He gets pushed twice.
But since,
Please push him, please.
No.
Slater pushes.
Come on, push him, not Reigns.
Look, Reigns wins, but all of a sudden, backstage, there was trouble. Sheamus lost the briefcase. He doesn't know where it is.
Oh, God.
And everyone's like, oh no, where's the briefcase? Where's the briefcase? Where's the briefcase? All of a sudden, someone comes out to make an announcement. There's a new holder of the Money in the Bank case.
Okay,
He's come back to overcome the odds.
Hold on. He just topped Snick's pick, the last one with the Shaq thing. That was incredible. My God, you're getting really good at these, man.
Follow up Snick's pick question. Does he also cash in at the pay per view?
Dude, he gets everything back on the spot. He cashes in and he takes the title away from Reigns, killing all his momentum.
They give him the Divas title,
Does
the
he
tag
get
title.
Does he get the title back from Del Rio?
Yeah.
Oh, he just walks up to Del Rio and goes, "This is mine."
Just like,
takes it.
Just flexes his muscles and
Does
do
he say,
something about
Does he
it.
say, "Look, I'm not going to kick out at 2, just might as well give it to me"?
Maybe John Cena comes back as the corporate heel that Triple H has been trying to find. The guy ready to do anything.
He will.
Dun dun dun.
Stop.
Should we end the Smark Show in mystery? Will John Cena be the next WWE champion with the tutelage of Triple H?
He will come back to final odds
Tune in Sunday
and beat Roman Reigns
for $9.99
with the Money in the Bank briefcase he just somehow took and claimed ownership of, and no one questioned
Just
the thing.
jacked it. I'm back to Rap Cena. I'm a thug again. This is mine.
Oh, I'm back. I would be his fan again.
Oh yeah, #1 fan right here. Yeah. One thing before we close out the show because we're getting long. NXT.
Well, let's talk about that.
Well, there's only one real part we should talk about because we're getting long. And we
Gable
got,
and Jordan.
Yeah, we got a really
Seriously,
big,
though, that was cool.
That was
was
awesome.
cool.
Real
Good
big
spot.
Ascension stepping up to take the challenge.
And see, if you give the Ascension time, they're really good workers.
Oh yeah, dude, Extension works so well in NXT.
Exactly.
It's just the whatever difference in booking WWE, like main roster ever does that, they need to take a goddamn page out of NXT's book.
Absolutely.
They know how to build like stars down there out of nothing.
It's incredible.
But the one I really want to talk about,
Yeah,
obviously,
I think we all want to talk about it.
changes the whole shape of the women's landscape in NXT. Alexa Bliss, Bayley fight. Alexa Bliss does a really good job against
They
Bayley.
did a very nice job
Especially
with this
for Alexa
match.
Bliss being so new to wrestling. People keep forgetting how new she is. Like she's really, really surprising a lot of people.
Really progressed with this heel turn.
The Smark Show's best friend comes out. The red-haired goddess, Eva Marie.
All right. So,
I can't believe you said goddess.
She's hot.
Yeah, she is hot, but
I'll give her that. I'm not taking that away from
well,
her.
I agree with you. She
She
is
just can't
hot.
wrestle out of a cardboard box.
Can't act, can't
Nah.
sell.
Yeah, that's
But- I watched that, and
It was so bad.
how do you make spinning around in a circle look awkward? How do you even do that?
She called the band dorks.
even Bailey. Like Bailey was getting fed up with her. Like halfway through the
Yeah.
segment, she was like,
She was doing
you
like
could
the
just
come
see
on
it.
single
Yeah,
and
You
everything.
could just see it like on her face. Like you just suck. Like,
When she leaned in to listen, though, I laughed.
oh, terrible.
But
That was they were not having any of it, and
Yeah.
I was with them 125%.
We got some notes here in front of us, Nick.
Oh God.
Yeah, I need to know the name of the writer who wrote Eva Marie appears to get booed because that is one of the biggest lies
It's
I've
a
ever
big
heard.
thing of bullshit
Yeah,
right there.
appears.
Up here, my ass. My ass.
just to have it in front of us, it's just the live results from Cage Side Seats.
Oh,
all right,
Whoever wrote this,
No, I'm not. Don't take it out on him, man. That's not cool.
whoever wrote this, you be honest.
Yeah,
did
be
not-
honest.
She did not appear to get booed.
She got
was
booed out of the damn arena.
eviscerated. Good job on making these notes, but
I've never seen
don't
someone.
give Eva Marie any credit when she doesn't deserve it.
She
That was
got booed.
horrible. Yeah.
I've never seen someone get booed that bad ever.
The worst part about this is I really feel like they're buying into the fact that this is like, oh, the fans really hate her. This is some real good heat, you know. It's like, no, I don't want to see her. You know, like Paige, how I keep saying she's being such a good heel on the main roster. I want to see Paige get like her nose rubbed in the dirt. I want to see her get like comeuppance for what she's done. I don't want to see Eva Marie do anything. Like I just don't want to see her.
I couldn't.
You know? I feel you. I'm sure you feel the same way.
You know I do. So.
Nick doesn't hate her as much as us, but
oh no,
she's terrible.
What happened on Wednesday night? I was like, okay, no, you need to go.
And she can't like. Oh man, that was good. But she hurts wrestlers. Remember the Carmella injury she did maybe last month?
Just kicked her.
Yeah. Yep.
But that was one incident though. It's not like she has a history of doing it.
She doesn't have a history of matches either. Though,
here's the biggest
history of botches.
Here's the biggest thing about that. You know, how long has she been around? 2 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Apparently, she was being trained by The Rock personally too. I read so.
You know, it's kind of else pathetic. She had a WrestleMania match.
No, here's
how does that make sense?
So she's been around 3 years, and she, you know, you think there would be improvement. She came out on Wednesday night, and that was the worst. That was like the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, like it just like I really want to look into the mind of whoever's the main person behind her sticking around.
I mean, honestly, like at this
see?
point, it's probably just a sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah, like
they've invested so much that they can't even accept the fact that this is just this is a failed experiment here.
But like they have like so many other divas where like they could just literally just never have if Eva Marie, even after like what just happened with Bayley, next week she just didn't show up to NXT, we never heard from her again, they just moved forward with a different storyline, fans would forget about
just
her
being like,
in 2 weeks. Like fans would just be like, oh yeah, she's gone, whatever.
Just being like real terms, how the hell does she deserve a title shot?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
She takes goes to Paris for a couple weeks, and then she has like 3 squash
Terrible
matches.
actor too.
Oh yeah,
actress.
Especially when you have like all these like new like big divas on the roster,
Asuka,
like, yeah.
Dana Brooke, Carmella, Emma, Nia Jax,
yeah, let's say
etc.
Nia Jax destroying people. Like, how do you have all these people and then you're like, oh, Eva Marie?
That makes sense.
Typical W. They just always just push whatever their prerogative is as a corporate company, and like whatever the fans care about. They seem like
if they're good looking.
I'm not saying they don't take fans into account at all, but it's definitely second nature to them. Like,
yeah,
anymore,
absolutely.
You know, if not like third nature.
Pretty much, but
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. That was terrible.
She did, and the promo was horrible.
Yeah,
she's like, it just wasn't good whatsoever.
Let's I don't know if you guys are going to say them. Let's save the spoilers, like what we know about this. Yeah.
Well, this was the first.
We'll save it for next week because
this NXT.
Well, I usually avoid the spoilers. I just kind of disregard them because you got like the thing you got to remember about WWE stuff is it's a show. It's a TV show. It's more entertainment than sports entertainment is what it's called. But
wrestling with sports entertainment.
Basically, what it boils down to is a weekly television show.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I usually don't look.
They
at
plan this
spoilers.
stuff ahead. Raw's live. NXT is pre-recorded with the exceptions
of the
takeovers. This was the first time I had to look at spoilers, and I'm not going to say anything to hint at what I know, but like I had to check.
Yeah. Well,
I was surprised you checked when you told me that. I didn't even look yet.
This is such a major thing in women's wrestling, like Eva Marie.
No, because they've done Triple H and company have done such a phenomenal job just to build up everything with NXT.
Amazing,
especially the women's title in NXT.
Just
that's
more specifically a women's title, but just everything all around.
Yeah.
Like this is
characters.
This is some of the best booking I might have ever seen, and you got to realize something. Between the two of you, I've watched wrestling. I've had the shortest tenure watching wrestling. I'm on like
I've been watching for like 2 decades now.
I'm on 5 years compared to your guys. Like what, 20 combined?
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'd take more, but yeah.
I probably started watching wrestling when I was like 3. So
I can go back and watch stuff, but I have that like this already happened. We know it's great.
Yeah.
But like I'm watching this in the moment, and I can already tell this is good.
Oh, it's awesome.
I said to myself, if she does win, I will stop watching women's wrestling.
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
I will no. Let me reword that. I will not stop talking about women's wrestling on the podcast. I will refuse.
Yeah.
You guys can talk about it if you want. I'll just pick a winner. That's it.
I've never seen this. I've never seen this one instance though where just one person has the potential to just ruin everything.
Yeah.
If they don't handle this smartly.
It's Eva Marie in a bottle for you.
Yep.
Just awful. Like whoever's pushing her, just let it go away. Just let it die off in the distance.
Yeah.
Like
Just you gotta drop
It doesn't
it. You
need
gotta
to,
drop it at this
It doesn't
point.
need to be like some hypernova star exploding where, you're going to make it very public when Eva Marie like hugely messes up and it's going to be awful. Or you can just let her go away and
Right.
people will forget.
Yep.
Well, we've had enough negativity for this episode. We're coming up on an hour and a half now, so we got to wrap this up. Before we go,
Overall, good Raw though. Positivity.
Very good
there.
Raw.
Yeah.
good
Good.
Raw.
Yeah.
Excited for this pay-per-view.
yeah.
Pretty decent episode of NXT
I mean,
too, as per usual,
yeah.
except for that ending was a bit weird.
But yeah,
We're
good
gonna see a
overall.
new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Good vibes.
That's huge.
Good vibes in wrestling coming up.
I mean, we're seeing a new champion. That's
even
huge.
even the things that we said, like
Actually, the titles are going to split again.
worst case scenario, whatever. Like Roman Reigns walks out of here champ or whatever. Like it's whatever. It's still a new champ. We'll move forward as we always do
Yeah.
as wrestling fans.
I just have a couple bullet points here that I do want to get through. We're just gonna run right through them. So,
Okay.
TNA has a new television deal. They had a countdown on their website. Leading up to the announcement, starting on January 5th, they'll be on Pop TV, formerly known as the TV Guide channel, aka the channel that I've never heard of anyone actually watching.
And no one will watch, and it'll be off TV again in a year.
I will give the benefit of the doubt. Happy for the workers that can still get money, because this is a lifestyle for these guys. I mean, we don't watch TNA, but
Yeah.
good for them.
Especially, except, guys like Austin Aries and the Briscoes and those guys. Come over to WWE.
Yeah.
They'll
Well,
go to TNA.
The show won't be on Wednesday nights anymore once they make the move. They'll
yeah.
still be on it at 9 o'clock at night. Meanwhile, over at Full Sail, speaking of Austin Aries, he's been spotted at NXT tapings along with Gunner and James Storm. So
Excited.
there you go.
Yeah.
They're making the jump.
Very exciting.
WWE also officially announced the signing of La Sombra to a developmental contract. He really made a name for himself on the Mexican circuit in New Japan.
Absolutely.
I hinted at that earlier at the show.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, John Cena's time off was apparently to film a reality show. He's getting a military-style show called American Grit, and we'll see the first 10 episodes of it run next year. When next year, I
had no idea.
don't know yet.
Don't care either.
American Grit. What a surprise.
That's true. That's true.
Both statements are true.
But yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Smark Show, episode number 15. Talked about a lot of stuff. Got off topic. Talked about football. Talked about screen looking. Talked about a hockey team's return to a city that never really cared about that much, except
Talked
for a
about
few
your
people.
lovely physique for a while, too. I hope that's very uncomfortable. for
Freak in the
whoever
Mighty.
listens
We
to
also
it.
got Freak in the Mighty. Freak
Freak the Mighty.
Freak the Mighty.
Freak the Mighty,
Okay,
guys.
sorry, I didn't know.
Freak the Mighty. I didn't even say it right.
No, I was the
We
one who
talked
botched
about
it.
other stuff that I'm thinking about now and going, why did we even say that?
And now we're talking about
Talking
about
about
stuff. So
This show is getting really, really redundant now. So, yeah, you can listen to us on YouTube. Subscribe to get a new episode every week, and if you enjoyed this episode. Also, comment what your thoughts on the last week of wrestling below. And since we're going into a pay-per-view,
Give us your predictions.
Leave your thoughts in the comments on your predictions. What you think's going to happen, what's going to happen moving forward, especially with the Brothers of Destruction, the wide angle. I think that's the most interesting one to think about. Roman Reigns, we're going to have to probably cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Go back and check out some of our old videos, too. We got some gems back there, guys.
Yes, we do.
Most of the information's kind of irrelevant now since
You get to hear us make wrong predictions, so that'll be fun.
That is fun. That is fun.
You'll hear optimistic us in the past.
You can also-
I hope Cesaro's champion by November. And then you see our dreams crushed
You
today.
may also be able to see the quality either go up or down.
Yeah, it's really your judgment there.
I cannot go back and listen to the sound of my own voice. I cringe every time, so I cannot be the judge of that. But
Pretty much.
it's on you guys. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Enjoy the pay-per-view on Sunday night, guys. We'll see you next weekend. Next week.
Follow me at Steve Herman 10.
Oh yeah, Twitter's. I'm forgetting stuff now too. At Stephen Herman 10.
Yeah.
I'm at It Snick. You can follow us collectively at the Smark Show because Cap doesn't want to make his own personal Twitter.
For live tweeting for the pay-per-view as well.
We will also be live tweeting for the pay-per-view. Enjoy it. Again, enjoy the pay-per-view this weekend. We'll be back next week.
Dirt
Run through
Roman
the cycle
Reigns.
again.
Follow me at Steve Herman 10.